Hey everybody, bonsoir. I thought for some reason I forgot I didn't have myself showing. But yeah, welcome to the show tonight. We had a very cold day, and this is gonna drive me nuts. Can you just make myself visible, but also see my background a little bit? Okay, well, whatever. Usually there's a way to do it, and I can't figure it out today. Um, so yeah, we had a protest and a press conference, excuse me, earlier because calling for Mayor Clark of Harvey to resign because he, of course, has done so many horrible things with the support of his four elder yes men who are just as guilty, but also we were calling for the dollar stores to be reopened because he closed all the dollar stores, and all we saw were cease and desist signs. There wasn't really a clear reason, and it's like, what the heck? Like, what are the odds that all the dollar stores are going to be closed at once? It was really weird. But yeah, we had an excellent, uh, despite the freezing cold and wind. I thought we had a great turnout. So thanks to Amir, Beth, Joyce, Ramona for coming out. Um, yeah, it was fun. We had a good time. We made it fun and hopefully got some attention for the cause because this man needs to go. So if you haven't signed the petition already, please, please, please do sign the petition. Um, I can share the text again here. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, so I shared the link again for that petition. We're up to 125 signers. 125 signers on our petition. So thank you. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm super excited about that. Actually, there's probably a way I could probably like add. Can you add like something on the screen or you can type? I bet you there's a way to do that. Man, there's too much stuff to have to figure out for all this activism stuff. I don't have the time, I feel like, to do everything. Oh, I can do backgrounds, I see. What about style? Oh, cool. It changes my camera. So it makes my default camera skinnier. Or what about, oh, just a round thing for my face. That's kind of cute too. I mean, I guess it's okay, right? I don't need usually the whole perspective. Maybe I'll try that for a while for something different, you guys. Oh, a banner. Okay, wait. See, I can do it. I can do something. Okay. Although, you know what? I'm forgetting too. I can also type a comment and then feature it. That works too. But yeah, I'm super, super excited. We're getting more attention on Harvey. We've been trying for years. And I know I just posted and commented. Someone had something about big protests today in Broadview at the ICE Detention Center, or the ICE Kidnapping Center, really is what it is. And and that's awesome. Like, I love to see it. I wish I could have gone up there too, but I feel like we get forgotten down here in the south suburbs. And we have a huge immigrant community here as well, and they're afraid, a lot of people still, to go about their lives. They don't know as far as if ICE is going to try to come after them. But way before we had Trump and ICE, we had horrible mayors like Mayor Clark and other politicians here in the Southland for years before all this happened. So, I really hope that we keep making some noise for the Southland and, for the people who aren't getting that attention and that help like they need. I love to try to stand up for the underdogs. Okay, so give me 1 second. I do want to play the video that I prepared from today. But let me, so again, if you have not checked out that petition, please do. It's in the comments. I'm going to highlight it right there. Yeah, so I'll be right back. Hi, baby. You guys could say hi to Hubert. Hubert's hanging out with me. He's happy. You know, I was gone earlier today, but then came back. I was also canvassing. I helped the Robert Peters campaign via the People's Lobby, which is a big organization that supports progressive candidates. So they were canvassing today in Dalton, I think maybe South Holland, but we did some canvassing in Dalton around gosh, where were we? Greenwood and Sibley, I think was our area today. So Robert Peters, if you have not heard of him, I did research his voting record. So far, I like him. Ooh, I had to put some stuff in my eyes because they're so dry. Okay, that's better. So far, I like Robert Peters. He's running for Robin Kelly's 2nd congressional seat. So I appreciate his progressive record for sure. And then they're also, who else were we canvassing for? Was Sam, and I can't remember his last name, but Sam is running for Cook County 6th District Commissioner. So we were supporting him as well. Also, I made up these handy dandy little, I should probably share them too online, but these little QR code flyers. So tell Mayor Clark to resign now. So we handed some of these out today. All right. Oh, I got to add it to the screen so you guys can see it. There we go. And once again, 125 signers on that petition. Thank you guys so much. Remember, we want to get as many signers as possible because we continue to use that petition as leverage and as pressure on Mayor Clark to resign, and also for a forensic audit for the city. And any pressure we put on Mayor Clark, remember, he's the one that is using the police as you know, the Nazi SS force, right? Like coming after us, anybody who's just asking questions about the city, like, oh, this just drives me nuts because it's been happening for the past few years. So, you know, now that Mayor Clark is in hiding, you know, it seems that the police, we haven't had as much harassment, I would say, which is a good thing. That's one good thing. So we have to keep the pressure on because once Mayor Clark steps down, then I think we can finally start to get some answers. And I don't think the 4 Alder yes-men are gonna, I think they're gonna start to think twice before they, you know, try to be like a new Clark. So that's why, you know, we really want the pressure on Mayor Clark. He's been the figurehead for this immense corruption, and suppression and oppression of the people now for a few years. So he's gotta go. Gotta go. And he certainly can't keep hiding out and hoping for a bailout from the state, man. I mean, that's that's horrible. Like, what a coward. You screw the city and then you want to hide out. Okay. So let's take a look-see here. Where's my tab? Okay, here we go.
Recently by Mayor. The dollar stores were all closed very recently by Mayor Clark. Our residents depend on these dollar stores to allow them to get their basic groceries, their basic necessities. We don't really have grocery stores like most communities do. So this is an urgent issue. This is added on top of all the illegal false arrests for speaking up against the mayor. Um, we don't know where the money's been going for 7 years. We have high crime. We have fires breaking out, and we don't know why. Randomly, the mayor has fired almost half of the city staff, and he's nowhere to be found. He has been totally gone from the public spotlight since October 27th. We just had city meetings this past Monday. The mayor couldn't even bother to show up. This is not.
So for those of you that, if you didn't know that, we had for the first time since October 27th, 2 city meetings last Monday. And Mayor Clark, the main architect of this whole, or the main figurehead behind this whole plan to basically rape and pillage and sell Harvey for parts, while harassing residents, anyone who dares to ask a question about what's going on with our public services and our public funds. He's the main figure behind that, right? And he's the main reason why things are so bad, 7 years later. And he couldn't even show up to the meeting on Monday. Like, just horrible.
Acceptable. We are suffering here in Harvey, and now the mayor has closed our dollar store, so we can't even get access to basic goods and services. We have to go to other towns. This is not acceptable. We're calling for him to reopen the stores, and we are calling on Mayor Clark to resign immediately because this has been too long. But we keep fighting for basic rights here in Harvey.
We have buildings that are abandoned, fires happening, we have crime all over this city. So we want Mayor Clark to resign.
It's kind of hard to even go to a council meeting without fearing getting kicked out because they don't want the people heard. So yeah, I stand with Ryan. I stand with everyone that wants Mayor Clark to resign.
Yes,
We will brave the code to stand against these people who don't care about the community.
yes, right.
And we ask the leadership, the valuable leadership of this community, to stand up and simply send a resounding message with us to say that it has to end. We're asking for the State House, Governor Pritzker, to rein in on the city, take it over. We're asking for the Thornton Township Supervisor and the leadership of the state to hold the city and its leadership accountable for lack of leadership.
Right.
We will not stand by and let these officials do whatever the hell they want to do in this city. It's unacceptable.
So that was today. We also had some fun holding up some signs and that said honk if you're sick of Mayor Clark, or honk if you want Mayor Clark to resign. So that was kind of fun. We did get a few honks, but it was truly cool. We'll have to do that again. And thank God we didn't have any harassment by Harvey police, because you just never know what foolishness they're going to try to do. But yeah, hopefully when it gets, on a day like maybe it's not so freezing cold that we could do that again. Because that was fun. We were at 159th and Wood with our honk signs, honk for Clark to resign. And we got some honks, we got some excitement, some people like, oh, who's that? So that was really fun. And actually we got a few people that came up to us too, to be like, what's going on? So please feel free, if you ever see me, Amir, Beth, Rona, Joyce, anybody, out and about, say hi. That's what we want. We want the people. This is our community. We should feel free and safe to walk anywhere, talk to people, talk to your neighbors, engage with them. This shouldn't be something where we have to be feeling like we're afraid of each other. That's what I want us to get over that. We need to own our community, take back ownership of our community. This is our Harvey. What do you want to see in Harvey? What do you want to see? What do you want to see in your community? We want people to take ownership. It's your community. It doesn't belong to an elected politician. It doesn't belong to the police. It belongs to you, the community members. So, I mean, it's so important to get that message out there. Let's see, I mentioned the petition, so I wanted to go over that.
The dollar stores were all...
Okay, yeah, I showed you guys that video. Because, like I said, I think it's interesting how I feel like a lot of people with this Trump stuff the past year are awaking, which is great. They're awaking to the fact that, we live in a capitalist society dominated by greedy corporations who want us all to be slaves, regardless of our age or race or background. That is the goal. Okay. The goal is the 1% of people that have the money. They want more money. They want to control the resources. Ultimately, obviously, the money that's linked to government that issues the currency, but most importantly, resources, right? Like that's why we deal with problems like in Harvey of people trying to steal land and mysterious fires and things. It's ultimately all about controlling resources, and glad to see people excited this past year since Trump came back. But this stuff in the Southland and particularly in Harvey, this stuff has been happening for decades now, you guys. It predates me, like before I was born. So it is our time. It is our time in Harvey and in the Southland. We deserve justice. We deserve to have communities that are safe and inclusive for everyone and that reflect what we want them to be, and not what politicians using police and fines and permits and ordinances as punitive measures. They've been trying to keep people down for decades, and we don't want to have that vision, right, of just a few politicians. We want to really have an inclusive vision where everyone can feel safe, everyone is accepted, and that doesn't mean you're gonna like everybody or you're gonna be best friends with everybody. That's okay, but we need clean streets. We need local businesses getting the support that they need. We need local businesses able to get the facilities they need, and not being harassed by police and fines and fees and permits and inspectors. We need parks that are well maintained and funded. We need all these different things. So, hey, Amanda. Hello, Amanda. It's time for a change. Absolutely. So, and then Crook says, liar, pants on fire. Oh, yeah. Hey, Crook. Were you talking about that? You're talking about Clark? I saw your video that you just shared, the Moving On Up video with Clark. That was funny. That was cute. And Miss Amanda. Speaking of Miss Amanda, I'm reminding all Harvey residents for the 2027 election. I know I haven't done any videos on it yet, but you know, I'm running for the 2nd ward. I know Colby's running for mayor. Jonathan Ramirez just announced he's running for the 1st ward, which is great. But we need you guys to get excited and think about a position that you might want to run for. And you know, it's okay if you have like a friend or a neighbor that also wants to run. It's okay. We want to encourage more people to run than fewer, because usually what happens is that, let's say, you know, if 5 people start talking and say, I'm going to run for city clerk, I'm going to run for alderman, I'm going to run for, you know, treasurer, whatever, usually, you know, maybe one of those people will end up following through with it and making it all the way through with their petitions and making it through the objections and getting on the ballot. So that's why I'm trying to encourage people, you know, don't have a poverty mindset with the local election stuff. We need more people to get involved. And if you are excited, but you still just really don't see yourself as running for something, that's fine. But then, you know, get active and figure out some people you can support. Like I said, I'm running for 2nd ward. Colby's running for mayor. Jonathan is running for 1st ward. Those are the only people that I'm aware that have announced as of yet. But you know, like, let's do this. We should be excited to do local politics and elections and community stuff. So let's take back our community, make this an enjoyable process, and you know, use it as a process to get real democracy and get real solutions out there for the community. All right, did I forget anything? Yeah, talked about the petition. So please sign and share that petition. Like I said, we're up to 125 signers. Oh, Chappelle just laughed at that. Okay, Crook, I'm gonna pull up your thing that you did. Oh, good. Someone expressed interest recently in fixing up historic buildings in Harvey for veterans housing. Oh my goodness. And this is obviously such a fake profile, and you are not joining the Historical Society page. Why do people do that? It's so weird. These fake profiles. But yeah, we got Amir had a good post too. I should pull up his post. We got at least 3 signers since last night. So I am super excited about that, you guys. Let me see. Let's pull up Facebook here. All right, Crook, where is your post? I know it was right here, and I just commented on it, and you just, why is it not showing up? Darn it. Darn it. Hold on, I'll find it. Yeah, it should be at the top of my notifications. Sometimes I don't understand how Facebook does that. Okay, let's refresh. Try it again. Oh, I gotta share that. That's a good Fidel Castro quote. Darn it! Where did you post it? We're moving on up to the east side. Oh, why does it show up so small on Facebook? That's weird. So happy that more people are signing the petition in progress. Yes, exactly. No, I'm so same. I'm so excited for Harvey. I'd love to get to 1,000 signers, and that the benefit of a petition is that helps us build public pressure on Clark and on the 4 yes men and on the state and on the county to actually make sure that laws are followed and people are treated fairly in Harvey. Some people are like, well, what does it do? What does a petition do? Or like, how many signatures do you need? This isn't a legal petition. It's not a petition for a referendum, but it is one device that we can use to pressure people. Also, I do see, I think what we're doing is working. All the pressure that various groups and people are putting on this administration. Like I said, today we were able, we did our press conference in front of Family Dollar, and then we were at the corner of 159th and Wood, and we were holding up signs that said, honk if you are sick of Mayor Clark, honk if you want Clark to resign. And no police harassment, nothing. No one from the city. That is very rare for Mayor Clark. Usually, if he won't send someone out to actively harass you, they'll at least send 1 or 2 squad cars to kind of park nearby, to watch you, which is also horrible. But yeah, so none of that today. So that combined with the fact that Mayor Clark appears to be in hiding, I really believe that all the efforts that people are doing, you guys, it's working. The number one discourager to activism and people power is the idea that the corporations keep pushing on us that your voice doesn't count, what you do doesn't count, it doesn't matter. It's not true. They want you to feel discouraged. They want you to feel cynical. Don't give in to that. We have to stay positive and remind ourselves of how much progress we've made. I mean, look, like I said, we just did a press conference and a protest at a huge major intersection in Harvey, and we didn't even see any police. I mean, that's huge. A year ago, if you would have asked me if I would have thought that would have been impossible, I would have said you were crazy. I'm like, oh no, we could still do it, but we know the police are at least going to try to they're going to be nearby. They might try to hassle us, blah, blah, blah. Nothing today. That doesn't mean that the struggle's over, but it means that when you use your voice, when we use our voices, things change. So don't give into the cynicism that our enemies want us to give into. Darn it, Crook. Why can I not find your... Okay, no, I can't find... It's not that. It's not the comments on my... I love one lady, I posted one of my food pictures, and then she said, are you on a diet? Like, no. Arlene says, I would like to set up meetings. See, we always have interest. Like that lady that just, contacted me about wanting to she has a nonprofit to make housing for vets, and like, hey, are there some buildings that I could use that, see, that's what I'm talking about. We have the demand, the interest is there in Harvey, you guys. It just, we have to make sure it's for the people and not for the few connected developers that are buddies with Clark and Jedediah and stuff, Oh, Crook, I guess if I just go to your profile, will I find it? I'm not finding that post. It's driving me nuts now. Okay, I'll just go to your profile. It's just a short little AI thing we did, but it was kind of funny. This giggle worthy. It's always good to have a little comedy, right? A little levity in there. Veteran housing is very much needed. Exactly. Yeah. So isn't it awesome? Like I didn't even have to say anything. It was just, someone who knew someone because they know I do real estate and the historical society and advocacy for Harvey, I was like, oh yeah, I'm really interested. I'm really interested. Now, of course, I told her that, right now that the city is not very supportive as far as the city owned properties. However, I said, well, we still do have, there are still some, privately owned properties that are for sale. So keep moving forward. We keep moving forward. Okay. Are you ready for this stuff?
Ain't nothing wrong with that. We're moving on up to the top, to a deluxe apartment in Sky. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We're moving on up to the top, to a deluxe apartment in Sky. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We're moving on up to the top.
And it says Mayor Clark moving on up while the city of Harvey keeps losing. And I appreciate he tagged JB Pritzker. Wait, let's see what comments you got so far. Oh, I said what a failure. Carlita said, spitting by drink out laughing. Chappelle Hooks did a laugh, send a laugh one. Thank you, Crook, for sharing. We need some levity. We need some humor. It definitely helps. Otherwise, let's take a look-see. Let's take a look and see what else we got. Let's take a look in the Harvey Historical Society page. Let's see any interesting posts. I wish on computer screen I wish I could get move this bar. Is there any way to do that? Let's see. I can't figure out how to. Be nice to close that. Anyway. All right, so I shared the video from today. Oh, this I thought was weird. Okay. It says Sauk Village donated an old ambulance to Harvey. Okay, so this is Deputy Chief Boyd. This is our Chief Howard Fisher. This is Sauk Village Chief Dam and Deputy Fire Chief Barrett. Thank you. I'm so grateful. However, as far as I know, we contract out to Bud's ambulances. So I don't understand. I don't know what we're going to do with the ambulance. Now, years ago, Harvey used to have its own paramedics. I'd love to get back to that, give some good local jobs and everything. But anyway. Oh, there's a post about Whiting where people were commenting. An old post about Whiting. I believe that, yeah, the Whiting buildings, at least some of them are being used right now by that steel company. And I'm blanking on their name. Cynthia was asking about if anyone has old photos of the former ComEd buildings on the corner of Fisk and 159th or a news article about when it was taken down. Good question. I know that there's a beautiful power substation that is still over in that area. But I don't know of any off the top of my head. Oh, Carrie Steele. That was an old post about her. She is horrible. Supported displacing our Myrtle residents. I posted another link to the petition. 122 signers last night. Like I said, now we're up to 125. That was from Monday's meeting. And then also, if you didn't, make sure to watch the video. If you didn't tune in the other day, we were supposed to have a Harvey Park District meeting, but it was canceled the last minute. And according to the two commissioners, Cotton and O'Neill Brown, they were not notified. No one was notified. It was just canceled. So my big frustration was, Keisha McCaskill and her family control this board and they control the library board, and neither one has had forensic audits, in the past few years, and there's a lot of financial issues going on. This was a fire we had recently. Oh yeah, that was that same fire. This was on Levitt by 148th, 149th. Very sad. We hate these unexplained fires. Oh yeah, and that was the past visit too, when we covered how the Clark said the city's broke, but at the same time, he has those cars and the camera always outside the two houses he owns. If one of the firefighters is an EMT, then would it be for that purpose? Good question. I don't know. So I love the idea that they were that they donated an ambulance to us. So thank you, Sauk Village. That's awesome. That's the kind of solidarity we need. But at the same time, since we don't use our own like paramedics or something, I don't know what's gonna happen to it. We're moving on. Let's see. Anything else? Oh yeah, this is the advertisement for today. Oh, I know. I wanted to. Oh, that's a good question. I forgot. I didn't see this one. Does anyone remember the name of the motorcycle shop that was on the east side of 146th and Halsted? This was prior to Watson Motorsports. Oh, interesting. That building's still there, I'm pretty sure, but that's a very good question. George's Honda was by Pete's Lone Oak Tavern. Ducati dealership, Harvey Cycle. Before it was Watson Motorsport. Jim McGovern was one of the mechanics. Oh, okay, interesting. Well, thanks for sharing, guys. That's what we like to see. That's the cease and desist again. Okay. Remember, we do have the Harvey Neighborhood Network. That's a good, positive group that's trying to, bring all different sorts of groups and residents together. The big projects that the Harvey Neighborhood Network will be facilitating are deal with beautification starting this spring. So if you want to get involved with that, feel free to reach out to me. Actually, that's weird because I thought Amir posted that in the Harvey Historical Society, but maybe he didn't. Let's go to maybe Chicago South End Politics, maybe? Did he post it there? Oh, we have 666 members. That's funny. Oh, this is cool. Did you guys see this? Okay, this was shared in Chicago South End Politics. District 160 I think this is Country Club Hills, I believe. They're doing a district-wide blackout protest on January 23rd, saying staff and students are going to stay home to protest conditions. Good. Take back your schools, your parks, your cities, everything. Oh, okay, yeah. Nick B says it's Country Club Hills 160. I love it. Let's love it right now. That's what I'm saying. We need to take back our stuff here, people. All right, maybe it's in the Thornton Township Actions Citizens Action Committee. Let's try that. Okay, cool. Yeah. I think this was, no. That was just the video. This is one of the ones. Okay, so he says, a sincere expression of gratitude is extended to the courageous individuals who braved the harsh weather to deliver a resolute message to Harvey Mayor Christopher Clark and his leadership team. Political corruption will no longer be tolerated. The closure of dollar stores in the community is unacceptable. Years of financial mismanagement is are equally egregious. The community demands change. It's imperative Clark step down. The growing opposition against him is a testament to the public's unwavering stance against corruption. Thank you to the corporate leadership of the Dollar Tree Corporation for doing right by the community, and also NBC Chicago. Yes, that's right. NBC did show up. And other local media for their support. The voice of the community is loud and clear. Harvey needs change. Mayor Clark must go. Thornton Township Citizens Action Committee and associated groups are on the move. So he shared the petition link again. And but let's see, he had some really good photos. Let's take a look. Look at those action photos. This is Joyce. She's a Harvey neighbor that recently I connected with. So I'm glad that she showed. Oh, this was a gentleman that we interviewed the other day when Amir and I were there on our own. And he was one of many when we were standing in front of that Family Dollar. People kept pulling up and wanting to go in. Could you imagine that? Like, if nothing else, we get sales tax. Okay, Harvey gets sales tax from that. So as Amir and I were there the other day, people kept pulling up, kept walking up to want to go into the store. And this was one of the guys that we interviewed him too. And we were like, hey, what brings you here? Do you know about the closures? And he was like, yeah, this is crazy. There's Joyce, good old Joyce. There's Ramona. Amir speaking. Ramona again. Resign now. Honk for better Harvey. Mayor Clark, what are you doing? If it's not illegal, it's unethical. Right. Oh, look at my face. Look, honk if you're sick of Mayor Clark. Resign now, Mayor Clark. So we got people honking. It was fun. We got some response. Sign the line. Make Clark resign. Very good, Joyce. Joyce wrote that one. Like that. This is Beth. Look at that out there. This is the other side of the sign was it's okay to be gay. I think she had one of the resign now Clark signs or something, or honk. Oh yeah. She was holding the honk for Mayor Clark to resign now. I'm telling you, it was freezing out there. Considering how cold it was, we did very well. Oh, that's a great picture of Beth. Look at that. Beth, I know you'll hopefully she'll watch this later. I know you'd be watching. I think she's busy right now. Freedom isn't free. There's Joyce, there's Ramona, Resign now, Clark. There's the four of us there. Here's the NBC5 guy. He was prepared. He looked really warm. I was like, you are smart. He had some really excellence. Oh, this was one of those people that while we were filming, he walked up because he wanted to go in the store. He's like, oh, what's wrong? Well, they're not open. Okay. Excellent pictures, Amir. Thank you. I have some too, and I just haven't uploaded them yet. This was... Oh, let's see what Amir...
Lionsgate Chicago.
Let's see what his video turned out like. We'll look at a little bit of that.
I had the Harvey Historical Society, and I have the dollar about it.
BETH, exclamation, SY, and the way.
DERSO.
KUR Shakur. Not caring about the community from Mayor Clark has got doors open up.
Yes.
Want them open up. State House. Right. Code Dave.
Okay, good. Excellent. Yeah, so you can check that out. He put the longer version up there. I just did kind of a shorter version because I know how impatient people get. Oh, okay. He did a shorter version too. Let's see.
Okay, cool. Let me make sure.
Township Citizens Action Committee are and
Right.
you I am caring about the actor from Harvey. No one else the over. It township will not and we won't back down.
Oh, very nice. Okay. Yeah, so he did like a short clip of his as well. Did I get everything? Okay, yeah, I guess that was it. I just wanted to make sure I got his stuff. This coming week, we do not have any Harvey meetings that I'm aware of, but you know, keep your eyes peeled because you never know. We are supposed to have a township meeting, and I wanted to briefly go over that as well. So if we go to, where does Paul like to post usually? Paul likes to post in the Thornton Township Good, Bad, and Ugly group. Okay. So thank you, Paul, for sharing. Paul Roberts, otherwise I wouldn't have known. So he just shared yesterday. He says, this article raises as many questions as it answers. If it weren't for FOIA requests, the public would never know what the township trustees vote to approve. The tax levies they unanimously passed December 16th were significantly different than those they approved November 18th. What caused the board to scale back their proposed 4% increases to only 2%? Not sure, but I have a feeling that because myself and others who called attention to the whole scheme, they lowered it at least a little bit. The final tax levies included $2.2 million for some sort of tax refund project. That's the exact amount which the previous board rejected repeatedly due to lack of any details from the previous supervisor about how the tax refund project might work. Exactly, because don't approve it if we don't know. How do we know we're going to actually get those tax refunds? How do we know it's not going to go to something else? So we're going to take a look. Okay, and let's read the article together. Let's go over it together. Thornton Township's final tax levy ordinance is released by Carol Shararko. I hope I'm saying her name right. The total tax levies for Thornton Township in fiscal year 2025 were reduced from the original plan as the final versions of the levies were passed during the Board of Trustees meeting on December 16th. Board members unanimously passed the levies. Okay. The combined increase for both funds over fiscal year 2024 tax levy totals is 1.99%. Okay, the Lansing Journal had to file FOIA. FOIA request, yeah, I remember for the early indication. So like the law basically requires boards to, they have to meet and vote on, I guess, like an estimate of the tax levy of what they want to do with your taxes, basically. That's all that. It's just fancy words for, do they want to increase your taxes? Do they want to lower them? Because every board has a right to tax you as far as taxing your property. Remember, if you're a renter, especially we got a lot of renters in Harvey, that this still affects you. You should still come to meetings. You should still speak up. You should still be really pissed, okay? Because when property taxes increase, as these boards do every year, with usually no accountability, your rent will go up, I guarantee you, because your property owner, whoever owns your property, when property taxes go up, that's an expense. So don't think just because you're a renter, you don't have to pay attention to property taxes. It affects everyone. The 2025 tax levy for the general fund is 21.7 million. Okay. 1.96 increase over the 2024 levy, which was 21.3 million. The early resolution showed a plan to increase the general fund tax levy by about 4%. Good. They respond. Pressure works, people. Pressure works. I should probably do a story about that before Tuesday. It really does. Now, ultimately, they should have been decreasing our taxes for all the drama and crap and yelling and screaming they did about Tiffany, okay? They should be decreasing our taxes. Decreasing. But at least we made some effort. At least we got them to decrease the rate of the tax increases. You know, better than nothing, right? The general fund is like day to day. Okay, that includes the assessor, township cemetery, special services, community outreach, youth services, senior services. Okay, so that to me, that's like the core mission of the township. Leading expenses include more than $500,000 for the senior lunch program, about $373,000 for loan repayment, $172,000 for loan interest, $220,000 for vehicle and fuel costs in the senior transportation department, and items in the Department of Community Outreach Engagement levy. I think so much of that is just bloat and waste. $50,000 for photography and printing, newsletter $100,000, outreach $150,000. Why don't you get donations? Why don't you invite people who maybe are younger and they're students, and they are from South Suburban, and they can do the newsletters and they can do some of this stuff, and then you don't have to pay, or you can pay at least, you can pay them something, but a reduced rate. Outreach. Why do you need $150,000 for outreach? And you have old people and young people, but especially older people who are getting taxed out of their houses. Community relations. What do you need $144,000 for community relations for? That's waste. Media consultant, $25,000. Get out of here. Okay. General assistance fund. Okay. That levy includes $2.2 million for a tax refund project, $250,000 for emergency assistance, and nearly $2 million for pantry food purchases. Now, wait, I thought that the food pantry got food for free from the Greater Chicago Food Depository. They have to buy it? Okay, I'm not clear about that. If someone knows, please tell me or put it in the comments. Note, there's a typographical error in Section 1 of the General Fund's 2025 tax ordinance. The words $22 million were presumably left from the resolution. The amount reads $22 million, $21 million. 600. Oh yeah, typo. You see, come on, man. You take all that money from us and you came and typed stuff up correctly. Bert Odelson and his law firm. What did Paul say? They make like $5,000 a month to write up an agenda. Road and Bridge Fund. That is almost $1 million. That's a 2.91% increase over the 2024 levy, which was about $888,000. The original resolution showed a plan to increase that tax levy by 3.9%. So they reduced that increase by 1%, but it's still an increase. Oh my God, you guys! I wish I had more time. We need to go back. I want to make a loop of all those, like Mary Bond and Valeria Stubbs, all those people complaining about Tiffany wasting money, and just play that loop nonstop. Because these hypocrites now, they're wasting money. The Permanent Road Fund is the largest portion of the Road and Bridge Fund tax levy at $738,951. Nearly $500,000, $500,000 of that is listed as other expenditures, and no detail was provided. That is not okay. Thank you, Carol, for covering that, though, and for emphasizing that. That's crazy, you guys. Absolutely crazy. So you can see some of the levy amounts, like contractual services, $2.3 million, like that. What is all that for? What is all that for? Cemetery, $13,000. Okay, to me now, again, we still have to see what kind of work that they do, but at least that's a little bit more reasonable. Community outreach and engagement, $1.1 million. This stuff just really reeks of waste and patronage and potential nepotism hires. Just the senior fund alone is $3.6 million. Wait, what? Come on, guys. There's got to be waste in here. That's a lot of money. Youth fund, $3.6 million. For the youth? They don't even do anything for the youth. What are they getting $3.6 million for? What does the township do for the youth that's worth $3.6 million? General assistance. So that was all under general, I think, right? General assistance, 8.2. Administration alone, 5.3 million. That's too much money. Other expenditures, how can you just say other? 2.3 million, basically. And that's too much money for administration. 5.3 million. That's crazy. Road and bridge. General road, 38,000. Insurance fund, 41,000. Okay, IMRF, Social Security, permanent road fund. Oh, I see. This is what she was talking about. Permanent road fund. That's a big amount. It's like 738,000. Personnel, 250,000. Again, okay. What is that paying for? Is that Antoine Russell, right? That he's over this department? Is that like his salary? Other expenditures, 488. Wow. I mean, that's huge. It's almost $500,000. Equipment and building fund, 73,000. You know, that's a little bit more reasonable. Not as bad, but still pretty bad. Pretty bad, you guys. All right, I'm actually gonna download. Let me download and actually pull up the actual form. Oh my gosh. And it's like a lot of it was even crooked. All the freaking money we pay the township and they can't even scan stuff correctly. Oh, and the last page is upside down. Like, what is their freaking problem? These people are crazy, guys. They're crazy. They do receive donations, but I think some things are bought. I just can't remember what they are. Oh, thank you, Amanda. Yeah, I would like clarification on that, you know. And again, I'm all for food pantries. That's awesome, but there has to be a lot of waste, patronage, and nepotism in these numbers. They're just so high. They're so high. And I'm sorry, but when it's the public money, you gotta account for every penny. I want to see where every penny's going, because they're not doing anything for that money. It really represents our community resources. You know, it's not theirs. Let me see. Okay, remove that. Stop that. And bring up. Okay, now can you guys see that? There we go. Look how messy this is. Look. Now, all those taxes we pay, and you can't even... I learned that when I was in college and I had a job on campus, okay? I learned how to use a copier scanner, and I could put it in the copier correctly so it wouldn't look so ghetto like this. Look, this is not how you present public documents. That's sloppy. I'm sorry. If that were my office person, you know, I'd be like, you know, you got to fix that. Just, I'm so not happy with this board. Oh, I see. This is the error that Carol was talking about. Look, 22 million, 21 million, 600. Amanda, you must be laughing at this too, because you know finance stuff. Like, this is crazy. You can't even get the number right. You're talking about $22 million and you mess up the freaking number that's on the public ordinance that's being voted on. Like, okay. So again, that included the general IMRF, senior, youth, and general assistance funds. Oh, I see. Okay, so that's some of the breakdown. But look, there's some of this stuff is just like contractual services. Oh, okay. It says see exhibits. Let's see if they provide an exhibit. I was going to say, because there's really not enough information there, if you ask me. So the total general assistance fund is about 8 million, 8.2. Total taxes levied 21.69. It's a lot of money, you guys, for a township. It's a lot of money. The money, and it's not because I'm obsessed with money, it's because money represents our resources. That's the issue. We want to make sure that our limited resources are being used properly. So this is Exhibit A, administration. Let's just see, contractual services. Let's see some of the stuff that they list here. Travel expenses, personal expenses, right there. Eliminate that. There are none. We're being taxed out of our homes. Get rid of that $127,000. You pay for your own freaking travel. Building maintenance, really? $240,000? Building maintenance project, $85,000. What project? What maintenance? I want to see receipts. I want to see specific or plans. Okay, liability. $80,000 for phones. Why? What are you paying? Okay, $48,000 in utilities. Rent $2,500. What professional services for $390,000? What are you doing for that money? Office equipment, $116,000. Loan interest, $172,000. See, you could probably honestly, okay, so if you cut out the travel and personal expenses of $127,000, put some of that money towards paying down some of the loans, and then we would have a lower interest expense. Human Relations Commission. We don't need a freaking Human Relations Commission. It's a township government. Get rid of that $50,000. Waste. Y'all, should I just do this on Tuesday? Just go through some of these numbers. Provision for contingency, $2,500. What the hell does that mean? Computer database, $35,000. Okay. Lease payment, $16,000. To lease what? All right, here's Exhibit B from the assessor. Travel expense, staff, $20,000. Get rid of it. Sorry, we're in a budget crisis. Exhibit C, special services, contractual services. Let's see. Another $5,000 provision for contingency. Why? Special recreation program, $60,000. No, that could buy someone a new car. I need more information. Home modification program, $50,000. What does that do? Whose home gets modified for that? Community engagement and outreach. Let's see here. All right, I'll just pick. Let me be nice. I'll just pick on the big numbers. $50,000 for events. Okay, I'll be nice. I'll give that to them. Photography and printing at $50,000. I still think that's a bit high, and we don't need it. Newsletter, $100,000. Absolutely not. Way too expensive. Outreach, $150. Community relations, $144. For what? Well, what does that mean? $7,000 for promotional items? No. Nope. We are in a budget crisis. Stop spending money like it's going out of style. What's this fund now? Senior services. $280 for senior pantry reimbursement. Why do you have to reimburse a pantry? Again, shouldn't that be donations? $625,000 for senior citizen lunch program. I like the idea for the lunches. All right, I'll give him that. Okay, but it's still that's I'm sure there's some waste there. Senior trips, $23,000. Home modification, $68,000. I don't know if our seniors need trips via the township. Other expenditures, let's see, 78,000 for building maintenance. Again, that's a little high. 28,000 for senior events activities, but we already had $23,000 for senior trips. So why do you need? See, something's not right there. 19,000 for senior exercise. 33,000 for utilities. Something doesn't sound right to me. Senior fund transport. Okay. So probably, obviously, your biggest expenses there are going to be fuel and vehicle expense. That would make sense. Yeah. Lease of vehicles. Why are they leased and not bought? Auto insurance. Okay. Okay. Look at this is what I mean. This stuff drives me nuts. Apparel wear. You don't need apparel, or go fundraise, or go have a business sponsor it. Ugh. You're a for-profit company. You're a government. Youth. Wait, what do we need 185,000 for liability for auto for the youth department? What are they driving around? Okay, I don't understand that. 67,000 for security? I still don't understand what the township does for youth, and I don't think we need to be worried about that. I'm sorry. I just don't think that's should be a priority. Days in parks, 109,000. Pantry reimbursement, again, $500,000 to reimburse a pantry. I thought all that was donated. After school programs, 88,000. Okay, I could see after school programs could be good, but it's just some of that stuff doesn't make sense to me. General assistance admin, contractual services. Oh boy, are we ready? This is probably going to be huge. Travel and training, 188, and axe that. Get rid of it. Nope. You pay for your own. Building maintenance project, 82,000. For what? Why do they need auto insurance again? You should cover your own. You should have to drive. Everybody else has to get their own insurance for driving to and from work. What are we paying for their auto insurance for? Accounting, 58,000. Security, 220,000. The township shouldn't need that much security, man. Now look at this is really really shady. $2.2 million for a tax refund project. What the hell is it? All right, general assistance. Let's see. HRD, I don't know what that means, but I mean, if all this stuff is going to, is this going directly to people? Like emergency assistance, 250,000, burial, medical, hospitalization. If that's going directly to people, that's great. You know, that's what we want. The money, the staff expenses should be as low as possible. Money and resources should be going as much as possible directly to people. Okay. Other expenditures, holiday baskets. Nope, don't need them. 100,000, don't need them. Sorry. Harvey food pantry, 25,000. $1 million for pantry food purchases. Yeah, I still don't understand that. Pantry vehicle repair. I don't know why they need vehicles either. I don't understand that. Pantry security, 149,000. Pantry food donated, 946,000. What? Wait. So you purchased, you're saying you want $1 million to buy the pantry food and then almost $1 million to donate pantry food? You guys, I'm so confused. Anyway, that's that. Well, partial victory. We got them to decrease the amount of tax increase for the township. So bravo. Even though Miss Nina Graham and her male companion called me racist and threatened me and tried to start a physical altercation, hey, at least you know they did it because they're feeling the pressure, and they did decrease the amount of the tax increase. So partial victory. Let's keep the pressure on. And again, that meeting's supposed to be Tuesday. Let's take a look. Oh, I think there's Jed and Kamal are having there's a hearing for them on Tuesday morning as well. And then I had that there's the township board meeting, I think is at 6, Thornton Township board meeting this Tuesday at 6 p.m., I believe. I am going to try to cover the Cal City board meeting this week too. It's Thursday at 6 p.m. If anyone's interested in that. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for joining me. Anybody have any questions about anything else? That was about it for me tonight. Great article. Great job. Great job, Carol from the lid. Oh, excuse me. Realistic Journal. I kind of wanted to share. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. This guy was saying, like, if depending on how they do the refund, the tax refund for the township could be trying to buy votes from certain groups of people that would benefit, let's say, homeowners versus renters or business owners. Man, see, that's why you got it. Everything's got to be transparent. It's got to be transparent. It's got to be transparent. Thank you, Amanda. Amanda says kudos to everyone who participated in the protest today. Thank you. Yeah, it was super cold. We were freezing our little bejeebies off out there, I'll tell you. It was very, like, dangerously cold. I feel bad for all the people who don't have a home or stray pets. It's like, it's really bad. All right, maybe before I go, what I'll do with you guys is we'll do a post. You can do a post with me. Oh, hi, Brian. Hey, you just popped in. I was saying I'm just towards the end, but that's okay. Welcome, welcome. You guys can do a post with me. Let's do it, because that way I need to get it done anyway, and then it'll be something I don't have to do later. So we're going to share the article that I just read about the township. Oops. So we're going to say, according to the Lansing Journal, how can we say that? Like, they didn't decrease the taxes. They decreased the amount that they're going to increase them by. We'll say, okay, according to the Lansing Journal, the Thornton Township Board voted on December 16th to increase all of our property taxes by a slightly lower amount than originally voted on in November. I'll say partial victory, right? It's a partial victory. It's still, though, the if anybody has any videos, please, or if you have time, please go back and make clips of all those people that were commenting, whether it be at Dalton or Thornton Township, about how Tiffany wasted money, and you see now how they're wasting our money at the township, and they're not saying a damn thing. That really pisses me off. So I'll say partial victory for the people. According to the Lansing Journal, the Thornton Township Board voted on December 16th to increase all of our property taxes by a slightly lower amount than originally voted on in November. This shows that public pressure works in getting politicians to behave better. Please continue. Oh, I'll just say, please come out this Tuesday. What did I say it was? January 20th, 2026 at, I believe it's 6 p.m. At 6 p.m. for the next Thornton Township Board meeting. Here is some of the waste in the levy. Should we say levy budget? It's sort of like a budget, right? Yeah. Because they haven't spent it yet. Question, is Clark showing these properties for personal gain? Good question, Brian. It could be. I mean, we know with the property tax excuse, he was saying, oh, we're going to close you down because you're not paying your property taxes, even though a lot of the businesses were renting. They didn't own the properties. And even though that's really none of the business of and not the authority of a city to do that, that belongs to the county. The county is the tax collector for all that, for the property taxes. But then, what he did is he instituted this extortion program where they would have to sign up to make monthly, I believe, or like once a year or twice a year. They would have to make payments. And we don't know where those payments go. As far as we know, they go right to Clark's pocket. And he said, okay, then I'll allow your business to be open, but you still won't get a business license because you're behind in your taxes, but we'll let you be open. But we'll take this money from you. Like one of the payments, what was it, Amanda? $2,500 a month or something. So we know that is true. That is not rumor. That is evidence. We have a copy of the paper. Colby had released that last year, the year before. The little extortion paper that they were having the businesses sign. That's really, really bad. So who knows? I've also had complaints from business owners saying that, they'll come in, they'll send the city inspectors in, and the inspectors are being told by, Clark, by the higher level staff, to go in and find like just little things like, oh, your license wasn't displayed in the right place. Your fire hydrant says 2025 instead of 2026, and then they'll try to use those little things to shut them down, fine them, get money from them. So it definitely doesn't look good. And since we don't really know, we don't have the receipts and we don't have the bank statements for all the Harvey bank accounts, we don't really know where any of the money is going. That's what's scary. So. What did I say, you guys? What was some of the worst? Here's some of the worst waste in the levy budget. What was some of the worst, you guys? Oh, Lord. like 188,000 for travel and training. That's a big one. $127,000. $127,000 was for travel/personal. That's just great. I'm like, how can you work for a township when people are being taxed out of their homes and then expect personal expenses? Like, no, you're serving you're serving the public. It's service. You can get paid, but you're serving. You shouldn't be expecting like perks and perks and perks. You're serving. Yeah, that was pretty bad. What else? Oh, 2.2 million for the 2,200,000 tax refunds. I'm gonna say you shouldn't get paid for this stuff. Sounds like land is the name of this game. Thanks for the question. Yeah. I would say it definitely seems like at and the township does this too. A lot of boards do this, but Harvey's definitely doing this. A lot of the harassment I believe is trying to get land from people. Exactly. Like making it so difficult for the businesses that they just give up and leave. And then think about it. If they're renting, then the owners have no rental income, and then oops, it goes to a tax sale. And who gets priority for the tax sale? The municipality. So yeah, probably right. All right, what else was really bad, you guys? Here, actually, the insurance costs are like really high for all the township. I was really surprised by that. Oh yeah, I like that. 100,000 for newsletter. 150,000 for outreach. Like outreach to whom? Um, Why is it $23,000 for a phone bill for 1 year? Isn't that a lot of money? Seems like a lot to me. I'm gonna say 502,000 for pantry reimbursement. Reimbursement. What is that? And by the way, these are just things I'm just kind of, just quickly looking through. This is not including the biggest expense, which are salaries, and administration, because administration is so bloated in this budget. That's not even including that, guys. So don't worry, there's plenty of waste here. Yeah, I still don't understand, like, $1 million in pantry food purchases. I'm gonna put that one down. And then pantry food donated. We'll say about 900,000. I'll round down. About 900. I don't understand that either. All right, does that make sense? Did I get some of the big ones? Hopefully I got some of the big ones. And I should actually go up and see. Wait, no. I gotta find one of these phone contracts, because it sounds really weird. Yeah, and the holiday basket. I'm like, get rid of this turkey tradition. I'm sorry. You don't need a big old turkey that should not be the primary role of government, to give a big old turkey. Oh, $220,000 for security? Wow. $82,095 building maintenance project. Yeah, what? $82,095. And let's go back up to those salaries. Let's go to general fund. Personnel. Okay. Administration personnel, almost $2 million. Assessor personnel, about 330,000. Cemetery personnel is very reasonable, 11,000. Okay, like that's what I expect for public service. Like, it should be very basic. This is not luxury, okay? Special services personnel, 62,000. Community outreach and engagement personnel, $540,000. It's just so much money. Senior services personnel, 750,000. Department of Transportation personnel, 585,000. Wow, youth department. That's the one I don't get for sure. $700,000 for youth department personnel. What does the youth department even do? And then just for the TAP program, almost 700,000 in personnel. Again, what are these people doing? What are they doing? General Assistance Fund personnel costs, again, 1.7 million. Wow. It's crazy, you guys. Crazy. I'll do 700,000. Like, what do they even do for 700,000 worth of salaries? Let's go back up though to what did we say? General Township Fund personnel is almost $2 million. Now that's not including anything of they're labeling contractual services. And that doesn't include the General Assistance Fund personnel of 1.725 million. So I'll say almost $2 million. Okay, so what do you guys think? Does that look better? So I said, partial victory for the people. According to the Lansing Journal, the Thornton Township Board voted on December 16 to increase all of our property taxes by a slightly lower amount than originally voted on in November. This shows that public pressure works in getting politicians to behave better. Please come out Tuesday, January 20th at 6 p.m. for the next Thornton Township Board meeting. Here is some of the worst waste. Here is some of the worst wastes in the levy/budget. 188,000 for travel training. You shouldn't get paid for this stuff in this current fiscal crisis. For who? Okay, that's good. I think that looks good. That's a good start. And I can share that. All right, guys, thanks for joining. You stay with me to share that post. You all have a wonderful evening, and we will talk soon. Au revoir. Bonne nuit. Dormez bien.